Hello, fellow travelers on your own unique paths, and welcome back to Life Atlas. We are taught that to succeed, we need a plan, a clear map for our lives. Point A to point B. Graduate, find a job, get married, buy a house. We carefully draw every road, calculate every turn. But have you ever felt that the more you follow that perfect map, the more lost you feel? Today's story is about a map maker, one who taught me that sometimes getting lost from the map is when the real journey begins. I used to be a planning fanatic. My life was mapped out like a subway line with predefined stops. Any deviation would cause me sleepless nights of anxiety. I believed that happiness was a destination, and my map was the shortest route to get there. But I wasn't happy. I was just tired. During a walk in the old Chinese district, I heard about an old man who drew maps by hand. Not Google Maps, not tourist maps. People said his maps didn't just tell you where to go, but why you should go. Driven by a vague curiosity, I decided to find him. His shop was in a small alley with no sign, just an old wooden door. I stepped into a space filled with the smell of rice paper and calligraphy ink. Warm, yellow light shone on hundreds of map scrolls lining the shelves. It was a place that belonged to another century. The old man was hunched over a large map. He wasn't using a computer, only quills, rulers, and an old compass. He looked up, his eyes kind and clear. I explained my predicament, that I felt lost even while on the path I had laid out, and asked if he could draw me a map to happiness. The old man smiled, an all-knowing smile. He didn't answer right away. He rolled out a map of Saigon he had just finished. It was unlike any map I had ever seen. "Look," he said, "people draw maps by naming the big streets, the tall buildings. But my maps are different." He pointed to the map. Instead of familiar street names, he had written notes. The alley that smells sweetest of magnolia in the morning. In another corner, location of the best tofu pudding, sold by an old woman only after 4 p.m. And there were large empty spaces where he had only written a question. "What is waiting here for you to discover?" He continued, "A good map isn't something that eliminates all surprises. A good map is something that suggests the beauty of the journey. The destination is just a point, but what you find along the way, that is the treasure." I stood in silence. I realized that the life map I had drawn for myself only had destinations. Titles, assets, achievements. I had forgotten to draw in the smell of rain, the taste of a delicious meal, the feeling of helping a stranger. My map was efficient, but it had no soul. "As for the happiness you seek," the old man said, pulling me from my thoughts. He pointed to a roll of parchment that was still blank. "It isn't at any destination. It's here." "A blank sheet of paper?" I asked, surprised. "Yes, this is the most beautiful part of any map. The blank space. The undiscovered places, the unnamed roads. People fear blank spaces because they represent uncertainty. But I love them because they represent freedom. Happiness is not about arriving at a predetermined place. It is having the courage to step into the blank spaces on your own map and draw the path yourself." He didn't sell me any map. He only gave me a small old compass. Don't trust other people's maps. Learn to read the compass of your own heart. It will show you your direction, but you must be the one to discover the road. I left the shop, clutching the compass tightly in my hand. I no longer felt lost. For the first time in my life, I felt liberated from my own perfect map. Getting lost, it turned out, wasn't scary. It was just an invitation to begin a new adventure. Perhaps the purpose of a life atlas is not to give us a preset itinerary. It is to remind us that on each of our maps, the undrawn blank spaces are the most promising lands of all. If this story has given you a little courage to step off your familiar path, please like this video. And please follow the Life Atlas channel, because this is a community of travelers who believe that the greatest journeys begin when we dare to get lost. Together, we will learn to trust the compass of our hearts. Thank you for listening. May you have wonderful adventures on your own unnamed roads.